Hello everyone and welcome to today's Stocks and Crypto YouTube Charts video. I am No FOMO Charts. Today is Saturday, September 27, 2025. It's after 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Welcome everyone. This is a swing trading and investing YouTube Charts channel and video. Let's start off with stocks. SPY, SPY. We are still in the daily uptrend for the past 4 months. Most recently, we bounced off of 655 support, which I marked in last week's video. The resistance is still 667 up here on the upside. Now the two setups, bullish setup, if this turns into a morning star pattern, we can have uptrend continuation for the next month. However, if individual company news, data, fundamentals is bad, we need to make sure we don't have a lower high and then a subsequent lower low. The weekly chart candle is a doji candle, so I'm cautious right now in the market. Nasdaq, very similar. We're still in that uptrend for the past 4 months. Held the support level of 589, resistance 602. See if we can bounce one more time to see if we could reach 610 to 612. If not, want to watch out. We don't have a lower high. The weekly chart is more of a hanging man candle. Watching out for that this upcoming week. Dow Jones, we bounced off the 26 EMA, 458 support, resistance still 464 in this uptrend. Dow Jones a little bit quieter and slower compared to Nasdaq, but the same setup applies. We have to break above we have to break above 465. If not, we can either consolidate or, worst case, pull back down to 455. Russell 2000, we had a nice pullback below resistance, holding right now above 237. See if we can pierce back into the resistance range of 244. Weekly chart is a large, almost shooting star candle, so watch out for that longer term. Let's go over some Magnificent 7 stocks really fast. Apple, bouncing off the support level that I marked last time and bouncing and consolidating right now. Earnings coming in about 4 weeks from now. So resistance 257, support 251. Those are the levels that I'm playing. Google. Nice gap up, pierced down. Watching out. This looks like a little small warning sign that there might be a rejection here on Google, but we're probably going to fight above 242 support to 251 range. Microsoft, after a very, very interesting downtrend in August, we're trying to maintain the uptrend here. Almost like an upside down head and shoulders. A little bit suspicious here. 515 is that neckline support. See if it has to break out above that or not. We do have this nice 1226 EMA cross as well. Amazon. This is one of my chart setups. It's actually below the 100-day linear regression and below the Bollinger Band. Just gently holding on to one of these trend line support areas. So this is a bounce potential spot that I'm watching out for here on Amazon, which is right above 219 zone. I might play this. The stochastic's low. The MACD is right in the middle of its range, and it's not an A+ setup. I'm definitely watching for this. The weekly had a double triple top, and it's also a longer term resistance zone. So this is not the greatest setup for me. Just seeing if we have a short-term bounce or not. Nvidia, a lot of lines. Nvidia is actually consolidating. This is not the most beautiful price action that I've ever seen. It's a consolidation play. Going to the side, barely making higher highs and higher lows. On the weekly chart, I want to watch out that we're not going to double top right below 183. If that happens, then we could crash back down to 171. Tesla. Last week, I was saying the short-term sellers, which did indeed happen, those day traders trying to push the price down. this EMA finally catching up and having support. So longer term investors, they're still holding on to the 360 price breakout. And now that we touch this line, the momentum still intact. It's not oversold stochastic RSI play. The day traders are essentially in control of this. The weekly chart still going higher, trying to test this 440 to 480 range. So the way we're going to know that Tesla might pull back is it has to actually consolidate in the price. And if there's some kind of bad news or event or something, then we have to sell off. Right now, it's actually in an uptrend. So let's be optimistic on the price. For the price of this Magnificent Seven stock. Okay, let's go on to a couple more stock charts in terms of what's coming up on my scanner here. So some tech and crypto plays for stocks. BBAI was a beautiful play, had a nice MACD massive bullish divergence and momentum, but it's nearing the 12 EMA zone, not quite there yet, but the 12 EMA zone would be about 640. And if we Fibonacci low to high, that would be the 50% Fibonacci range. So 640 or 580. See if we get a bounce going on here. It would be interesting if we have gap downs, but if we don't, that's one potential bounce setup that I'm looking out for. Let's go to Bitfarm. This had a massive rally, but now that it's pulling back, it's below the 12 EMA. So if we have to keep crashing down 233 and 205 levels, I need to see some kind of W or V-shaped reversal to try to enter that trade. But entering the backside of these trades can be awful, meaning losses. So that's why it's just showing up on my scanner. These are not the A+ setups that I'm used to or looking out for. BMNR, wild target. But BMNR, the company that buys Ethereum, actually making higher highs and higher lows. So if this is actually going to hold above $48, hopefully we could get up to $60 again, $50 to $60. So that's something I'm watching out for. Consolidation, symmetrical triangle, or ascending triangle, depending on how somebody wants to draw according to the close. But this is an interesting support level I'm watching out for. $48. We know some institutional buyers came in to buy this. Watching out for that. Rich Tech Robotics, one of the hottest, interesting stocks in terms of robots. This 12 EMA has been holding, so that's why I'm watching it very closely. This bounce, hammer candle, right above $4, $4.15 range. Will we get a small bounce? It could just be a lower high and then a crash, which happens a lot on these smaller, less than $5 stocks. Now, in terms of what else has potential support, these are now my stochastic setups. Low stochastics, this one happens to also be below linear regression. American Airlines, the last time it got here, the price coming down this far, there was a bounce. Now, there needs to be positive news on this one or else it's not going to work. Amazon, I talked about this already. Merck. Now, Merck had not the greatest rally. I remember talking about this potential setup, and there was some potential gains to be had. Very short term, however, bad news and coming back down into this regression zone. So see if it can be saved or not. We need to see some kind of bullish, engulfing, piercing candles. XOP in the downtrend, but it is in the oversold range. See if we get a little, see if the shorts will actually let go of this one and we get a potential short-term bounce up to $79. Let's see if that happens or not. Now, in terms of stocks, MACD bullish momentum is just showing up on my scanner for Coca-Cola, even though it is downtrending pretty hard. See if at some point, if it keeps downtrending even further, when the shorts will let go. But these are oversold plays. These are very risky plays. It's just showing up on my scanner. My scanner will show me just whatever it finds. But I'll tell people right now, these are not A+ setups because they're downtrending. We need to find setups that are uptrending, which a lot of them went up so high already. That's why I'm not showing them, like Open, etc., Rich Tech Robotics, etc. So the target here, downside, It's right in that 618, but it could be $65 even down to 63. So if this can hold, maybe we'll get a potential chance during earnings. Nike also has earnings this coming week. So it's in the downtrend right now below the linear regression. Earnings in just a few days from now could go either way, but the resistance 74, support 65. I'm going to closely watch that because when we have good earnings, you could have sometimes you get a gap of like 10, 15, 20%. Could be an interesting play. The technicals are there for sure, and somebody bought that hammer candle last Friday. MSTR, this is correlating with Bitcoin right now, and some of these trend lines, it reached a trend line support zone area that I'm watching of $300. See if we could bounce here, but Bitcoin has to bounce. Now, MSTR, it is a little bit overbought and overvalued long term. It just in the shorter term trading, it did reach a lower stochastic. So if it's going to rally, see if we get a Q4 rally with Bitcoin or not. Let's go to crypto. Now, we're on total crypto market cap. This triple top, that potential we talked about last week, $4 crashing down, that definitely came true. I was hands off crypto. Hopefully people did not get too hurt in this downtrend rally. That's why for crypto, when there's a bearish setup for day trading or swing trading, I just get out of the way. I just get out of the way, do something else with my life, and just wait for setups, which just occurred this past weekend. So I longed certain cryptos and altcoins. I'm not going to specifically say which ones, but I longed it and I'm already in the green right now. So what I'm trying to show right now, we're downtrending. We're hitting a zone level of support, support level zone right now. And this is why I'm being very cautious, because if we don't hold this level, 3.67 trillion, we could actually see further downside. And so what I need to see is some kind of longer term reversal, either intraday, W or V. But the fact that it came down to this level of support is good. I like it. It's also, bring up pivots. It's also a pivot point here, R1 on the weekly. The bad thing is we lost the daily trend pivot point. So we are in the downtrend right now. I just like the fact that stochastics oversold gives us a chance for traders to reverse the trades into a reversal setup. Let's go to Bitfinex chart. Last time I was pointing out these two trend lines. Let's draw it again. We actually lost that trend line, which is why we had some excessive downward force. So unfortunately, Bitcoin's still in the longer term downtrend. I hope we don't crash down to 105 or $100,000 Bitcoin. But if we do, I am ready to take my profit. And it would be interesting, though, if we have a little bit of a short-term bounce because stochastic is starting to build here. However, we need to see signs of at least consolidation, which is not happening yet. Bitcoin on the weekly, remember that shooting star from last time was the warning signal, and we lost at 115, crashed very quickly down to 109. I bought some Bitcoin at around 109 range, 109K. But this stochastic RSI is not the end-all, be-all, ultimate indicator. It's just a very interesting correlation for the robot algorithmic traders. That's what I'm trying to sink in with. And it's working for now. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum also had a nice bounce off of that range. Now, in terms of the pattern that I'm seeing, let's draw much larger term triangles. We hit this pivot point. I'm going to call it a pivot. And we're under the white pivot point of 4,200. You need to watch out for that. It would be better if we bounced above a pivot point. So that's why these are very short-term trades that I'm going with right now. Because the shorts, they're going to have to let go at some point, but they will re-enter and aggressively short back down. So that's why whatever trade I'm in right now, I'm ready to exit. But what I like is the linear regression for Ethereum. Bitcoin's not there, but Ethereum's there below that linear regression 100 days. So usually sometimes we get a little small bounce. See if we get continuation up to 4,300, because if everybody is shorting Ethereum. If we get a short squeeze, that's when we get some of the best little crypto trades in terms of little day trades and whatnot. See if we can target about 4,200. If we lose 3,800 support and keep crashing this week, then all of these chart setups are invalidated and I need to wait. Ripple is holding its support zone right now. It's actually inside of a descending triangle, which is still not that good. But at least we're holding support of about 270. See if we could bounce up to $3 or $2.99. If not, it could easily have one more leg down. Usually crypto likes to get extreme. It's just holding that pivot before we have some kind of calming down of the move. So we could crash down to 250. My upside target is $3 for a trade. Solana. Solana had a magnificent crash. And let's not be surprised, because once things get too overbought. We also had a small little head and shoulders or a double top, however you want to call it, but it was there. The weekly chart was outside that Bollinger Band. That's why it's shooting star from last week. That's why we had this sell-off. But I bought some Solana at 192 range. I'll just be transparent about it. And I want to see if we get this W or this V-shaped recovery, because sometimes when we get extreme like that, last time in August, we might not get such a magnificent rally back up to the upside uptrend. But I like the fact that maybe if I'm patient, maybe I could make like 10, 20, 30% on this trade. So I'm not telling people to copy me. I just have a very aggressive oversold style, because according to my criteria, my scanners, sometimes deep oversold is literally the bottom. Like, for example, sometimes when I'm day trading stocks, I'll buy literally the bottom of the day. So it's just, but sometimes it can be too early and then somebody could have unnecessary losses. So for me, I have one trade on right now in terms of Solana, for Solana. There's one trade. So I'm willing to just let it ride around because it has quite a bit of space right now. But if it, crashes down deep into 160, 170, 150 range, then I'm out of that trade. And wait for the next one. No problem. Okay, let's go ahead and finish up here. In terms of other setups that are interesting on the charts for daily, Uni swap, because of this crash, has double MACD momentum is building. PENGU, one of the meme coins, it's starting to build. It's not perfect. This MACD was better, which I played last time, had that good profit. But it's starting to set up right now. It's at the anchored VWAP, actually, which is about 0.026. And the second MACD is forming now. So it could take about maybe 30 days, 40 days, see if we get a little bit of bounce or not. Litecoin as well, starting to be in that range. So just remember, just because I have this MACD histogram and this low stochastic, sometimes the price will crash deeper more again. And then that's when I know, that's probably the flash crash ending spot when that happens in the market. HBAR actually double bottom for now, above 21 cents. Stellar also has a double bottom. This is an old trade, but I'm watching out for that. So the summary is a lot of crypto and altcoins, they had their flash sell off for now. It's a matter of, can we hold that support and have uptrend reversals on a lot of these cryptos? Stocks summary is different. Stocks, we had such a massive uptrend. A lot of larger cap stocks are taking profit right now. It's these smaller AI, quantum, or tech plays or news plays that's having penny stocks as well. That's having the day trading, and that's where the money is flowing into right now. So whichever trading style I'm doing, scalping, day trading, which I'm doing less of right now, but more swing trading, longer term investing, I'm just playing my setups. And other YouTube channels and people, traders, they're probably talking about the latest day trading that's coming up on the scanners and the news. But for me, I just stick to my process. Because if you follow me for a long time, that certain areas in time. It's usually about every 1 to 3 months, I'll pick and get, for example, like a really good setup like BBAI or like Intel or something, right? Buying Intel very low. So that's why it's just all about patience for me. And sometimes I know it can be frustrating with stocks and crypto. But if there's nothing going on in the market according to my criteria, I'll check other watch lists. And then sometimes the best thing to do is just walk away from the market. Sometimes. And just wait for a better price, wait for a better deal. Or if I'm already in positions, I just need to manage my risk, right? Where's my stop loss or moving it up if I'm trading and investing, just watching out for fundamentals and data. Thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you have a nice week. Let's always manage risk and run our strategies. See you in the next video.